Hey guys, this video is all about my thoughts on the Wide Margin Reference Bible in the ESV. There's at least 3 really good reviews of this Bible online that I know about, from the True Tone to the Genuine Leather, and then to this Top Grain Leather, but no videos. And when I really kind of became obsessed over trying to find the perfect Bible to pour years of notes and prayers into for my children one day to give to them, once I saw this Bible, I was all set, but I wish that there was a video that somebody had done beforehand. So I ended up buying 2 of them because we have a daughter about to turn 3 and a son about to turn, well, he's 6 months right now. So I have plenty of time to work with these Bibles, and I just want to go ahead and show it to you. By the way, if you want to go to my descriptions, you'll see a link for the other Bibles I bought for my children and why I chose them. Now, this Bible specifically, I was on a hunt for a long time for a Bible that had plenty of room for taking notes, and so I really searched far and wide. So what I first wanted, as I said, I really want a Bible with great translation integrity. I wanted an NASB, primarily because I really liked the other ESV Bibles and that I wanted to get for my kids in this, but I couldn't. I didn't find a lot of Bibles in the ESV that I really liked, or I'm sorry, the NASB that I really liked. So if I scroll way down below, I might be able to show you this. Yeah. Here we have a zoomed in view of the NASB side column wide reference Bible, and it's great because for note taking, I came to think I don't want double column because I want verse by verse format in a single column, because that'll give me less verses per page and that'll make more notes. But I know 2 guys who had this Bible and theirs were just falling apart. Now they do keep the cross references, which I really like, but those cross references really get in the way of your notes, particularly when you're in the Gospels or in the New Testament where there's so many cross references. It really leaves you with little room. So given that the Bible hasn't been known to stand up amongst my friends, but that it's fallen apart, I didn't want to go with a Bible that was meant to last for my kids' lifetime, that I would first spend about 6 to 10 years making notes in. I really needed a high durability Bible. Now when it came to other Bibles, I really liked this ESV single column Bible. They make it in an heirloom, which is not red letter. They make it in the chocolate paisley for only $34, which was a shoe-in for me originally with my daughter. There it is right there. I thought, oh, she's going to love that. And then that would have been the one for my son. But the problem is that we have a guy in church who has this Bible, and because it's a True Tone, all that is fading. You know, if you've ever had one of those imitation leather Bibles, use it for a few years, and just where you constantly hold it and grab it, it just wears out. One of the other things about a single column Bible is it's really great because, like I said, you don't have that double column issue to worry about, which means you can get the text all the way to the middle. The problem becomes when you want to underline something, you're going to have crooked lines because it's such a longer line to draw on. Now, in this passage, in this example here, they don't have a lot of their chapter titles, so that wouldn't create a problem at all. And there was so much space at the bottom that I was really tempted to get this Bible. But once I felt it in my hands, it just didn't compare to this one. And I'll get to that one in a second. And I do, in all fairness, want to say, even though I wasn't even considering a King James Bible, although I do like the King James, I think that for note-taking, if you like the King James Note-Taker's Bible in iron calfskin for $57 is a must. I mean, look at that room that they give you. Single column format, large letters. The Bible's big, as it shows you the dimensions there, but so much room. You could write prayers in addition to your notes and all that. The problem is that unless you belong to a King James only kind of study group, no one around you is reading King James. Now, I like it because it is a copy of the Word of God, and it's a good one, but it's not the only copy of the Word of God, as some would make you believe. If you're not sure about that, just do a quick YouTube search for James White and listen to him explain Bible translations. But anyway, that just didn't seem really practical, although I do wish that somebody would make the ESV or the NASB like that. And for a calfskin Bible for $57, it's just unreal. It's unheard of. This is the Bible that I'm about to show you. Why I had to see it in person is, even though there were all these great reviews, I said I need to see what the inside margin looks like, because my issue with the double column Bible that I'm going to take notes in is just this. Here's my keyword study Bible, okay? And I love this Bible. I've poured years into this Bible. This is the Bible that I first really started reading and note-taking as a Christian. And so I'll just open any page here. So here I am in Hosea. There's not as many notes. I got some notes here, a lot of underlining, some comments, a star. But then I really have to cram some ideas in here, because in a double column format there's really no room on the inside. Now if I go to the New Testament, way too far, forget in this Bible that there's a dictionary in the back. Now here we are in Matthew. So I have notes just kind of all over. Our pastors at Newtown Bible Church here in Newtown, Connecticut have been expositing Matthew for years, so it's great to sit down there and take detailed notes. The problem is that you can hardly even make out anymore, I know it's fuzzy for you anyway, some of my notes on this column, because when you have a double column format, if you don't allow for the inside, well, then you're just stuck trying to fit it wherever you can. Thankfully, this is verse by verse format, which I believe for note taking is the best, because it at least allows a little bit of room between sentences and between verses. So that's pretty good. But there's not much room there to be able to fit anything significant. Even there you can see that I made a note, and I basically had to write a sentence one word at a time going downward. So that's not ideal if you're looking at a Bible to really fill with notes. So then I considered, for only $27, it's amazing, you can get it in a couple different colors, and Crossway Publishing will be coming out in September, I believe, with even new versions of this. They have a double column and they have a single column, single journal referencing. Let me show you what it looks like. Skip to it really fast. There's the red one. It's got a little strap around it. It's a hardcover. It's like a book. There's that brown cowhide one with the leather strap. I personally wasn't crazy about the leather strap. And there's the black one. There it is standing up, and there it is laying down. Doesn't look too bad in person. It's really pretty nice. Problem for me was that I'm already giving my kids, if you saw in the other video, 2 Bibles that are personal size. And this would be a personal size Bible, not a large one. Which means the font would be really small again. And I'll show you that here. Here it is. The paper is cream colored, as you might be able to tell down the center line. It's beautiful if you like that. There's lines, so you can't write too big. It forces you to write small, and there's a line for each verse. And it's just fantastic, except the font is so small that even though there's so much room here, there's double or triple the amount of verses to take notes on. So you're still going to end up with the same issue. You're going to be cramped up. And I just thought, I don't know, I'd rather look for a Bible that's more red letter, because I just didn't have that in the other Bibles I'll be giving my kids, and that was a little bit of a bigger font. So then comes this one. Now, I expected it to be way bigger. Granted, this keyword study Bible is huge because it has the dictionary in the back, but you can see the size difference there. And then if I were to just take like the MacArthur Study Bible and put that next to it, you could see how much smaller it is there. I was originally just blown away with this Bible size, that it's really just not that thick. And this was right out of the box. You saw I haven't even really opened this Bible except just the book of James. I love the spine hubs. I think that they just look so nice. The goal for a Bible that I would pour notes and prayers into for years and then give to my kids one day was that it had to be a Bible that just made you want to take it off the shelf. And I just think that this does, with the beautiful popping gold and the spine hubs. I personally like Bible leathers that are smooth, like a wallet, like the calfskin ones. I don't like pebbly leather, but I've got to say I love this pebbly leather, because even though it's pebbly, it's still smooth, if that makes sense. And I've seen lots of videos where guys fold it up and then they just let it go, and I was never impressed with seeing that on a video until I actually got to do it myself with the Gnome Bible. So it's lined in here, so it's durable. The only negative thing that I could possibly see about this Bible is it doesn't have extra pages for notes. But I plan on drawing my color coding system as to how I use my Minion pens, so that it's kind of like an understanding system for my children as they go through it in these pages. And then basically using these initial pages just to say why I did this and to kind of give like my overarching prayer for them. But then that's it. Then from there on, it's the scriptures. I'm not going to take the time to go through every little page, but you can get a lot of that through the blog post. But what I want to show you is that from the beginning of the Bible, it'll lay flat. It'll move nice and easy so that you can get into these creases. And through all the way to the back of the Bible, it's going to do the same thing. It's just so nice. The paper is so smooth and white. The line matching's there. It's a 9-point font. Okay, maybe not as big as something like this or some of the other wide margin Bibles, but I think 9-point is appropriate. It's not too small. The font is a really nice font. What I love about this Bible, this is what I wanted. I didn't want a Bible like this where it was just the text. I still wanted the cross references if needed, but they made them really teeny tiny and tucked them on every page down in the bottom corner. And I love that because they're there if you want them. If you want to strain your eyes to find them, they're there. But otherwise, you forget they're there. So you've got all this room right here to take notes on, and then a little bit at the bottom if you need to make a note to yourself. And then you've got all this room on the inside. And so the book of Luke, because I'm a biblical counselor with the Association of Certified Biblical Counselors, I really wanted to know, I really just had a yearning to focus more on the book of James, because it's such a great discipleship and counseling book. And so I had plenty of room to write an opening statement, to underline, to circle, to make notes and color code. I had all this room at the bottom I didn't even need to use for this page, even though there's so much that you could say about James chapter 1. And then the way I was able to get in here, it was just such a breeze. I'd push that down and right there, I'd push this up and right there, and the way that you just move the binding, it just allowed you to write so easily. Like I said, you don't get extra pages. You can't do in this what you could say do with a Cambridge wide margin, which is see Appendix A. I mean, that was one thing that I really loved about the Cambridge wide margin Bibles, is that they said they have all these blank pages in the back of the book to make your own appendices, basically A through Z. But looking back on it, I'm not sure that I have that much to say, and I'm not sure that people really want to flip and look back into the back of the Bible. I think that they want it right there as they're interacting with the text. So I really wanted to go with this one. And what is great is even though that they don't have space, unlike some other Bibles that are just in a hurry to try to get it all in there and make the Bible as thin as possible, this Bible always has a blank page before the next book. And I'm writing small, and I'm using those .005 pip minions, but I was able to write out a detailed personal prayer to the Lord for my daughter's salvation, and that she would apply the truths of this book, and I explained all the truths of this book in that prayer. So if we went to the end of 1 Peter here, we would see that the size would probably be a little bit different on the end of it. Sorry, I'm working with one hand and my thumb has got a bandage because it was cut up. Let me switch here. So not as much room for this one before it gets into 2 Peter. But, I still believe that it has plenty of space, and I just love the way it looks. I love the way it folds. It definitely passes right out of the box those folding tests that you see people do. Like that kind of thing. It's just an amazing Bible. It's just so flexible. It doesn't have that art gilding that some of those really expensive Bibles, like the Allens or the Schulers. But this Bible is about, on CBD, $107. you're paying way more than that for other ones. So I wanted to post this. There's probably other things that I didn't answer and I didn't get to, just because I think that this is the best Bible, and I hunted for months, and I asked my local store to bring them all in so I could touch them and feel them, and I don't think that there's another Bible on the market like this in terms of all that I was looking for, with the red letter, the 9-point font, the double column with the cross references, but still having plenty of space on the inside and the outside margin. That's pretty rare. Rare enough to where, in case they never make another one, there's a second one that I purchased for my son, and after years of spending time with these, I'll probably be buying one for myself. Alright, thank you so much. God bless you.